Good morning. This is the 98th segment of the Think Before You Speak series, Shemirat Halashon with Clarity. Leilui Nishmat, the Chafetz Chaim, Zechet Tzadik L'Bracha. Leilui Nishmat, the great Reb Chaim Kanievsky, Zechet Tzadik L'Bracha. Leilui Nishmat, Yedidi, Reb Zechariah Wallerstein, Zechet Tzadik L'Bracha. As well, these halachot are dedicated for our Bnei Chabura that learn every morning. Hashem should bless them with Hatzlacha, Siyata D'Shmaya, Ushmir Ma'aliyah. As well, these halachot are specifically dedicated for the Shmira Ma'aliyah and the Siyata D'Shmaya and the Hatzalah for Chaim Davido ben Chayesar. Okay, Rabotai, these halachot are also dedicated Leilui Nishmat Luza Liza Bat Henriette and our children that passed in the fire, Ruach Hashem, Tenichenam Began Eden. So, we are going further in the laws of Rechilut, and here's a very interesting idea when it comes to revealing damage that was done, and you know who did it. So if we would take a very simple story where, you had a neighbor, and the neighbor has this beautiful garden, and every now and then, there are boys on the block that have a little mischievous side to them, and they love jumping into that garden that the neighbor put so much time and money and work into, and to start plucking the roses, or to start trampling on all the beautiful flowers that the neighbor paid top dollar and worked very hard to maintain. Now you know who did it, and you see the look on your neighbor's face when they come out in the morning and see how their garden was destroyed. And it's to such an extent that you want to tell them because you feel bad for them. You know what they put in and it's really not right. But at the same time, are you allowed to reveal and tell them who did the damage? So the halacha is a very interesting one, that this is clearly called litoelet, that you're telling them damage that took place and who did it in order to stop them from doing any further damage. But at the same time, there needs to be certain conditions that are met, like any time that you say over Lashon Hara or Rechilut for the purpose of To'elet. And that is a simple concept. It cannot be out of revenge. It cannot be exaggerated. If there's another way to do it, where you can get the message across without telling the person that it happened to and stop the damage from being done, you must do so first. You have to go up to the person first and admonish them and tell them, don't you ever do that again. And only if they don't listen to you and you realize it is going to continue, then you can go tell the neighbor who did it. All these are the famous conditions of To'elet that are true to all Lashon Hara and Rechilut when it comes to damage, when someone's being hurt in the process and you want to let them know who it is in order to stop it from happening. What's very interesting is that if you don't fulfill these conditions, you're not allowed to tell the neighbor who did it. And if you did fulfill these conditions, you don't have to wait for the neighbor to come ask you, hey, do you know who did it? No, you can go straight over and actually offer the information, even if you aren't asked, as long as all these conditions are met. At the end of the day, usually, if you take the culprit aside and you show them the damage, most of the time, when they see what the hurt that was caused on the other side, they themselves will clearly take a step back and say, oh boy, we'll never do it again, and you'll be able to diffuse the situation at that moment without causing any hard feelings between people for long periods of time, especially when it comes to neighbors. Thank you for listening.